Okay, so I believe we're filming now. I mean, I definitely hope we do, because the last time I filmed, I had accidentally turned my mic most of the way down on OBS, so it recorded it with almost no sound whatsoever. But life gets like that. I am still very much working on my Frenrar comic, but what I'm doing there currently is text, and that's a little bit boring and a bit more something I need to concentrate on doing. I'm not very gifted verbally or on paper written. There we go, that'll do. So yeah, I'm gonna try and redesign this character, but I want to make a lot of changes, to be honest. It's still going to be a centaur shape, but I don't think this part's going to be human. I think it's going to be animal-esque as well, and he might not have the extra set of arms, but he might. Gonna see how it looks. So I'm gonna get my rough sort of structure. He looks really small on that, but that wasn't really my intention. That was just more I didn't know how to draw. Well, I had done little to learn to draw men who were thicker than what'd you call it, plank of wood. And so I'd want there to be like this join here into the kind of animal-esque part. I will be shrinking this down and all that after. I have a reference also of a deer up on my phone, but because of the way the reference window works on this, I would need to put like a picture together with all these different parts, you know? But it makes it a little more complicated, but not that hard, to be honest. If it came down to it, I think I'd be able to deal with this pretty okay. I've given them a bit too much of a curve in the back. It should be a little more straight, to be honest, as a deer than... He wasn't really a horse. He's not really a deer now, but he's like a deer. You know, it's like the same kind of idea. Deer legs are kinda interesting. And that they don't really work like horse legs at all. Oh, they're beautiful creatures. I absolutely adore deer to look at. I've never really had many experiences like up close and personal with one. Just seen one going about its business, or three, sorry, going about its business in the field or that. Never had a one-on-one experience with a deer, and you know, if that makes them deer more comfortable, who am I to complain? Okay, let's make his legs a little less thick. I mean, he is going to be a little bit thicker than what an actual real-world deer may be capable of looking like, you know? Maybe a bit bulky, but hopefully something that makes some kind of sense with his original inspirations. Because while the characters who are animalistic on this planet are not human, well, they're not earth animals, they're not earthling creatures like recreated, I can bend a little bit, but I still want to stick with their inspirations, you know? And that kind of means I have something to reference, which makes it a lot easier on me, considering I am not particularly known for being gifted at just knowing anatomy. I think we're gonna have this come down like this. I'll basically erase the part that's in his arm. We're gonna bring this down. It's gonna have less of a front butt cheek. Yeah, something like that. And then another, like, kinda following the pattern of this one. I will move this up and shrink it down now, so we have more space to work. I tend to need to shrink down. You know, it's maybe not the healthiest way to do this. Healthiest. I kind of hate this idea that like you can do this and not that mentality in art. There's a lot of YouTube videos on them, and I also appreciate that these aren't actually the points that these YouTubers are standing for. Just, you gotta have the right headline. But I hate the concept that like, oh, you gotta draw it like this or not that. For example, you know, you gotta draw your sketch as something with all these little shape breakups. That is absolutely great for when you're going to be like, you know, posing and changing the attributes and everything, but if you're just creating a design, just give it a little breathing space. Do what feels natural, and then when you're creating your final piece, wow, this looks so freaking weird. It looks like a normal person's leg, so this isn't gonna work whatsoever for me. Okay, let's have a look at another reference at the same angle. Just need to see their legs. I wish I could show you what I'm doing on my phone as well, but literally I just googled the word deer and now I'm looking at deer. Okay, so these bits come pretty far down compared to the bottom part, and they bulge out just a little above the knee, and then the leg kind of comes down. He's going to be very tall. I will have to adjust a lot of things. And your legs are something. They're ungulates. They got hooves. They got like little feet like goats, right? I might be wrong, but I believe that to be the case. It's surprisingly hard to find. You know what? I'm just gonna Google deer hind legs. No, that's back legs. Forelegs? Are they hind legs? Let's find out. Deer hind legs hoofs. Do they get referred to as hoofs? It means like toes, essentially, but they have way cooler knees. Okay. I'm looking at a picture of a deer without flesh and feet below a certain point on Reddit. What the fuck am I looking at? But that's not that's not the leg I'm looking for. I'm gonna say 4 leg hoofs. Oh, there's a great diagram now, and it doesn't talk about that awful picture I just saw. Be careful when searching up animal things. There's always a risk. Oh, this is a great diagram. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. Everything I'm searching, I'm not going, you know, deep web surfing to get it. It's searchable with the exact terms I was mentioning there. And this one is posted on Pinterest, of course. The title of it is Animal Anatomy Deer Leg Hoof Buscar con Google Horse ... So, yeah. But it's a black and white diagram, and it shows the feet from the back perspective, the side perspective, and the front perspective. And well, I did have this bit here a bit better, but mine looks more like the kind of talon that a rooster would have. You know? And then, yeah, they have their little 2-toed feet. And they have a bone that comes out to like here. So let's put in a little more curve here, because the bone has to come out to here, and then the leg goes like that. And I'm going to bring in the sort of curve into the body a bit less. Obviously. And then I just have to try and do the back. I'm going to work on an underlayer though so that I can erase what I put down that doesn't quite make sense. You know? Okay, let's get a rough idea of where the body would be coming in, and then we'd have this leg bit here, and then it would go down. We'd have the foot like that, this little back bit like that. That little foot ankle bit's way too low. And then this one would go in that same way, right? Kind of, we've got to bring down the length of this. This is just meant to be almost like an example of a sheath in the bone. Bring down the angle that that's at, although it should still have an angle. I don't want it to be quite that intense. Let's pull this back. Well, this looks a little weird right now, but hopefully in time it'll look better. Maybe we'll evolve. For now, that's his front legs. Sorted out. Let's get some reference for hind legs. I know I can't show you these, but literally it's just stare at it and figure out how to transfer that onto your art. I know that sounds really vague, but literally, like, say your reference was like this and you was trying to draw that, you would be like, well, maybe I'll draw the circle first and then put that over, and then I can pull back the circle so it's flat on top but it joins on perfectly to that. Oh, and like, if I want to make this a more interesting body, I could lengthen it. I hope that makes some kind of sense. But just half of it is how can I recreate this, and the other half is literally hoping that you have the right waves between your brain and your hand to actually recognize the shapes you need to make. Wow, I'm getting less helpful diagrams this time, but they're still actually better than going blind. Okay, so that back leg's facing out. Let's bring this leg in. And behind the body, again, luckily I'm working on a layer separate from my main sketch. It would be, okay, so it would be somewhere like that. And then this would be coming down from like back there, from what I can tell in this picture. And then down here they get a lot thinner. And then they get their little hoof, toes, things. The diagrams don't actually have any words on them, they just have like letters to be used, letters to be ascribed. Okay, so that would be the back leg. It looks a little stiff here actually. Let's fix this up, because in the diagram it looks like it goes like this. Maybe not quite as harshly as that, but and then straight up. So does that make it look a little better? I hope so. We'll find out. So this leg is going to have fairly similar pose and everything. Kind of big leg coming down. Maybe being a little more. Okay, so we come down here, and then we have this bit, maybe we'll be able to see a little more of the actual hoof on both sides of its foot. Let's get this down to the right height. So then we pull that in a bit, and then for its two toes we'll have this one here and this one here. These two look a lot lower than the actual other feet though, so I'm going to fix that. Maybe give them a little more depth from them for their little... I'm going to say it's a dew claw, that's what you call it in cats. I know deers and cats are not very closely related though, and it is not actually a claw. You know, actually that kind of looks good, but I think maybe we should pull that back then. And maybe give a little more depth to this that way, rather than pulling in both sides to be the same height. Yeah, that looks a little better to me. Yeah, so this is interesting so far. Having a look at the diagrams to kind of figure out how this would be, and a lot of it, it's not 100%, it is at like 64, a lot of it is a lot of fur from what would be his neck if he was an actual non-centaur-ish creature. So it would come down like that and go between the legs, all fuzzy like a beard. And that should be good. In his universe, world, well, it doesn't really belong to him. In the universe in which he exists, Amishes, he gets referred to as a god, but in technicalities he is a demigod. He is one of the many children of a singular god who created a whole existence. They're very vague and undescribed for now, because I don't think it's that important how something was originally created. I think it's kind of important how things grow and change from there, which is a big part of my novel, comic, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it'll be as detailed as novel, but maybe one day there'll be a novelization. Maybe one day people will pay me for this. That little tail, it's not very realistic, but it's really cute. But I'm going to give it fur instead of cotton ball fluff. I know that most deer don't have tails really to like this extent, but I'm a big fan of cute little deer tails. I've actually done like anthro deers based on the seasons, so cosplay with friends a couple times. I've played winter and fall, and both were actually really fun to design, because deers just have some beautiful features to them. Let's give this back a bit more of a curve, kind of going along with the neck like bit. Okay, so it looks like I've got his body down pretty well. Let's actually, okay, onto this. Let's erase. Oh, it's just taking time because I had it in a small thing. Let's just erase a little. And get rid of whatever doesn't quite fit for now. Okay, its legs look a bit long, but to be honest, I'm really into like intimidatingly large godlike creatures as designs, so I want to make him a bit freakier than he ever was before, and uncomfortable, because as you can see before, he was very pretty boy, and I love that about him, but I also really like when gods are kind of uncanny, like undescribably strange, less human. it's hard to really discuss what their body is and isn't doing kind of thing. And yeah, I'm kind of considering giving him, I'm going to turn down this again, a semi-muscular body, but I don't know if I'm really going to give him arms up here. So this is where it comes into trying to plan this out with shapes. So let's say this is his chest, and that's his torso going back kind of thing. And his waist would be kind of similar, going out into the neck area, / hips. Hicks. No, Hicks is already a word, I can't make up a word. I often have songs and stuff that play in my head, or little word plays that get stuck in my head when I'm working on things, and it can be a bit annoying, but so can I, so who am I to complain? But yeah, this would be roughly where his torso is. His chest would separate like that, there. If you had arms, they would be there and there, and then you'd have collarbones that came to here, so that kinda gives me a shape to place here, and then have it broken a little bit with that. And over here, do the same. Part of the reason he may not have arms is that he doesn't actually really need them as a god. His form isn't dependent on picking up things with your hands, for example, and he doesn't really love being associated closely with humanoids because he has a kind of sense of privilege that he's more important as a god than anyone else, and I guess, you know, that kind of makes sense. You know, I'm saying use a reference, and then I'm not using any reference for someone without arms when it's not something I've drawn. It's gonna sound terrible to be googling double arm amputee, because I don't want to see any violence. I just want to see how their arms are. That sounds so terrible. I'm not meaning to be horrible about this whatsoever, and that they're unusual and think higher than themselves than gods. It's just, I feel it makes sense for this character not to have arms with his design. And I'm not trying to say that he represents anybody. It's literally just, I think it would be better if there was like a semi-sense that his body can at least be partially recognised in parts of, like, okay, well that is his torso, that is his chest. Maybe his hands work differently. But also I'm seeing from a lot of these pictures that it's not even, which makes absolute sense. Nature already decided they haven't needed to keep their arms. No, that's a terrible way to say that. That was an awful way to say that. I'm so sorry. As well, it's also completely inaccurate because, you know, I actually have a family member who's born without developed arms due to complications, and that's all I'm really going to say, because that's not my story to tell. But this isn't to represent her or to be an example of it to anyone. You know, I'm not trying to claim I know what I'm doing, because I don't know what it's like to live like that. I don't know what it's like to have that experience. It's mostly a visual thing here. I always get so anxious about literally everything I do. The last thing I want to do nowadays is really harm anyone. And mostly because being involved with anyone is complicated and exhausting. You know. I also don't like making people feel bad, and I don't like the sense of knowing you've done that. So, best to try and avoid it as much as possible. I'm just going to quickly double check what time we're at. How long have we been recording? 24 minutes, so I'd say it's probably a good idea to stop soon on this, and I may continue this as like a speed drawing thing, because I think 25 minutes is a good amount of time just to talk to you guys about what I'm doing here. And I guess we didn't really talk about anything that's going on in my life, but that's, I guess, sometimes how the development diary will be going. I'm having a terrible time, and I'm only getting by on sheer, pure will. But it's been a long time since I did anything to cause harm to my own body, and anything more extreme hasn't come up either, so I guess it's just depression is difficult, anxiety is difficult, personality disorders are difficult, and I feel really lethargic and tired a lot of the time. But there's not a hell of a lot I can do about those sensations until everything gets back to a state of semi-normality. Anyway, I will let you guys go and not just talk about how sad I am, even though that's kind of the point. It's also actually kind of the point to get out of that mindset and talk and think about something different, so, you know, this is more helpful in the long term, then why not do it? I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am sorry that in the last 2 videos, which have now been privatised, it turned out that I had turned the mic all the way down here. It was like... No, I don't think you could hear me whatsoever. So there was no audio in those because I had turned the mic down and didn't realise I had done it. I am so smart. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for a little bit. Thank you for dealing with my lack of professionalism. And for, I guess, having the patience to stick with me this long. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!